There's around 20,000 UK fires in homes recorded every year. This makes up around half of accidental fires in UK homes. On top of this, about 70 people a year die from electrocution. There's a video recently been put on YouTube about a little boy called Harvey, who's 7 years old, who died from DIY electrics in a pub garden just by climbing on a metal fence. DIY electrics are a huge nightmare for us as electricians, but extremely dangerous for homeowners. I've been an electrician now for about 14 years, and what I'm about to show you on this installation, I'm completely shocked at. This customer reached out to me on a weekend to ask me to finish setting up their EV charger. They just wanted a little bit of help with commissioning the app. The installer hadn't completely set up the charger and didn't know how to, and wasn't returning their calls. I thought this would be a quick 5-minute job just to help somebody get their charger online. When I turned up to the property, what I seen was just beyond anything I've ever seen. The customers paid full price for the installation. The person that did the job was apparently qualified and has an electrical business. Above all, this installation is not only dangerous, but potentially it could be one of those statistics that starts a fire. I'm going to get my stuff together, pick up some tools and get over to the job. I've been on a training course all week. Again, another important part of being a qualified and competent electrician is keeping up with our CPD and our training. It's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to head over to this job and try and put right what somebody else has put wrong. This industry is a very dangerous industry. Things can go wrong and things do go wrong. Us as electricians, we work on a worst case scenario. So when we're designing or installing a circuit, we'll always be thinking about the phrase under fault conditions. And what's meant by that is, yes, the equipment or whatever it may be that's attached to the circuit is working, but what happens under fault condition? How quickly will that circuit disconnect if you're being electrocuted? These are just some of the things that run through the mind of an electrician. So whilst I get my things together, I'm going to put some pictures on here of the installation and I'll talk you through it when I get to site. If we look at what's going on here, there's quite a few things. First of all, we can see the main fuse. Obviously the seal's been cut on the main fuse. It's not been put back in, so it's not housed correctly. So that's going to create high resistance, probably heat, potentially arcing. That's a potential for a fire to start with. If we look on the very basic of things, we've got cable not supported, not clipped. We've got bare conductor on the earth, so no sleeving on that. We've got single insulated cables inside a meter box. Obviously we've got no fuse protection because these single insulated cables go straight into the meter. We've got no RCD, we've got no surge protection, no overcurrent protection, no CT clamp. It's just an extremely bad installation to start with. I'm going to make a phone call to the DNO and then we'll go from there. Welcome back. So DNO didn't want to be on camera. Fuse is refitted, isolator's been put in, everything's sealed up. And these tails, which had this twin and earth, allegedly wasn't tight and just came straight out, according to the DNO. So, isolator's back on. I'm going to get a board on and see if we can get this connected. And then we can have a look at the hot tub fault. I think with the main fuse, we're going to have to do a retrospective application to the DNO for the fact it's 60 amps. Doesn't look to be a loop supply, but we'll do that on the ENA website and go from there. Obviously, priority is to try and make this safe and safer than it actually was. Not knowing what I was truly walking into, I've got a couple of boards, weatherproof board, what will it fit in, and a normal board. Basically, to utilise that space, I need the smallest board to get in that space so I can connect some tails and what have you too. It's actually looking like the IP rated board. If we can get it in that enclosure, will just be a little bit tidier as well. So let's see what I can do with that. Let's get rid of these original tails, get them out of the way for now. Get them back up in a bit. I think if that will fit in there, it's a bit tight maybe. I'm reluctant to go outside. I can't be sure, but I don't know what was going through his mind when he turned up to install this. Like, you just don't use fuse boards anymore? No fuse protection? No RCD? Absolute beggar's belief. But I've got a board in, I've got a Henley block, I've got a new MET. Existing circuit's going to get ripped out in a sec for Doncaster EV Ultra. So that's going to go in, I'll run that to there and then commission it, and fingers crossed this is all good, it's not cocked up the inside of that, and then I'll take a look at the heat pump. But yeah, it's absolutely baffling. Some people just should not be anywhere near electrics at all. That's the board done pretty much. I just need to test it. I'm going to get rid of this circuit now. Hopefully the inside of this Zappi Glow has not been damaged too much, or at all, if anything. Let's get this out of the way for a second. So yeah, take this off. Look at that, no stuffing gland on there either, just thrown straight in. Yeah, I was going to get the Pasload gun out to nail this, but I think there's only going to be about 3 clips, so probably not going to bother. Those of you that know, I love the MyEnergy Zappi. I'm not yet sold on the Glow, however, I love the Zappi. One of the things you've got to do with the Glow to get the cover off is just give it a bit of a squeeze at the top. And it prizes the cover off. No tools needed, just a little firm squeeze. And then we can open up the inside and take a look, see what's going on. Fingers crossed it's alright. One too many screws there. Let's get her back in. Live neutral, at least it's got polarity correct. No earth sleeving on that. No gland on the bottom of that. It's IP ratings compromised. No strain relief on the cable. It is just the gift that keeps on giving. Let's get her in the bin. I'm going to mark up this wall, clip this cable and get it connected. I mean, the charger's not even straight. Oh wow. I'll show you this, come take a look at this. You see that? So the manufacturer's weatherproof washes have been binned, certainly not here. So I'm just going to put a bit of CT1 behind it. That will stop any moisture getting into the back of the unit and affecting the IP rating of that. I think it's actually more difficult to have messed it up than it is to have actually installed it correctly to start with. Let's go and have a look at the hot tub. Right, let's have a look at the fuse board because it's just dead here. Say again?
You wouldn't think he would have checked the power there when he did it.
I mean, what's he yeah, because he would have tested it, but he knows he's not done it. Like, you're not forgetting to do the job you come to do.
No, it's like connected to the house. It was like running, the pipe was just running.
Yeah.
The wires was from the ground. We just dug it in when we had the floor done, so it was out of the way.
Yeah, that's obviously not connected to anything. That needs going back to the board. That box there needs some work on.
That's terrible.
That's sketchy, that. Again, another potential for fire. Yeah, I'm going to knock your power off quick. I'm going to swap them for some better connections because I'll not sleep otherwise.
Yeah, obviously if those test certificates are fake, which I should imagine they probably are, I don't know, you could probably make one of them on AI, could you?
It's not so much making them. It's if it's A, if it's not been tested, and B, if the results are wrong. So anyone can just do a certificate and say it passed, or.
Yeah.
But if it's not been checked or anything.
Do you have to send it off to somebody? Because he said you had to send it off to somebody.
It depends on what certificate you've had. So an installation certificate goes to the council.
Right.
A condition report doesn't.
I'm not sure whatever the ones that with that file.
I'll have a look in a minute. Right, that is that job sorted. So the EV is up and running. It's been tested. It's been commissioned. Now has an RCD. Now has overfuse current protection. That didn't even make sense. Whatever. It's not got a fuse. It's got Type 2 SPD. It's completely installed. It's safe. The hot tub, however, isn't connected. Never was connected. The shame about that, they've actually paid somebody to connect it, the same person that did the EV. He's also done the fuse board, which is missing quite a lot of test results. I've seen the certificate. And he charged them £500 on top of the fuse board to produce a certificate. I don't think he's registered. I'm going to find out, and if he is, I'm going to report him because that's absolutely shocking. It gives us all a bad name. So we'll be putting a quote in to fix the hot tub, get that connected and go from there. Really boils my blood when people are doing crap jobs on electrics. Not only is it bad for the industry, it's dangerous. People genuinely will die and have died. So yeah, join us next time. Hopefully it's a little bit better installation video of something we do and not fixing other people's problems as we tend to be doing a lot of lately. Until next time, see you later.